Hello!
Hey guys, how are you?
Welcome to Two Crazy Teachers on day 7. I probably butchered that. 7.
7?
Yeah, I'd say it in French, but sep, I think, is in French.
Yeah.
And
So we had some concerns that were voiced to us yesterday that we are not practicing social distancing. So I decided today I would dress up as Luke Skywalker. And so here I am, Luke Skywalker.
It's a stormtrooper.
Huh?
It's a stormtrooper. They're the bad guy.
From Legoland?
No, from Star Wars.
Star Trek. Good.
No,
okay.
not Star. No. Two totally different things. Now there are fans of Star Wars and Star Trek, but
so Ms. Mason said, "Should I wear a mask?" And I said, "I'm only worried about myself." Mm-hmm. So
here we go. It matches his cold-heartedness.
Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, you're gonna get hot.
I am Skywalker.
Skywalker. Is that what you do when you walk your dog?
It's a new Skywalker.
Scoop.
All right, so let's get started with
All
the
right,
day.
so today's word of the day, I can't handle it, is timorous. And if someone approached Mr. Hood right now, they might be a little timorous because they may think that he was a little crazy. But timorous is an adjective, and it means a timid disposition or a little bit fearful. So, you really like Darth Vader.
I don't want
the mask.
I don't want any to be timorous around me.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sure they won't now.
Looking out for people.
The mask
don't
really,
breathe on me.
really, I won't listen. We haven't been around anybody else, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so it means, and remember that we learned about the word disposition before, and it meant your mood or your personality. So it's kind of how you act and the way that you behave. So timorous means that you're kind of shy and timid, almost like a mouse, perhaps. And it's used in a sentence. It says students are more likely to be timorous during the first few days of school than at the end of the year.
So some of you, this is the beginning of your homes, you're being at home and your parents are schooling you, and so you've probably been really timorous around your parents.
It's really, a brand new teacher.
Really reluctant to not go against their wishes, doing
shy.
Everything, real shy.
Because normally when people are timorous, they tend to behave better and they follow direction very well, and they really try to please the people around them so they don't get in trouble.
So most of your parents would probably describe you as being very timorous.
Sure.
Okay?
I'm sure.
So that's our word for the day.
Mm-hmm.
Also, today is some important days in history. The first one is Harry Houdini was born on this day.
Now, how many of you out there know who Harry Houdini is? No. Mr. Hood, I said, Harry Houdini was born today. And Mr. Hood said, who is that? Like a magician?
Yeah.
Kind of a big deal in magician land.
Houdini.
Like a great escape artist. Escape artist. Now, speaking of Houdini, I do have the language arts teacher, the English teacher in me, has a book recommendation. And the book is called I, Houdini, and it's by Lynn Banks. I think that's what yeah. And it's a pretty good book for middle schoolers, but it's about a hamster who is an escape artist, and it's the cutest little book of all time. And if you've ever owned a hamster, you know that they really actually are escape artists, so it's very fitting that his name is Houdini. Just saying.
Another important day is planet Pluto was named for the first time. Then it was taken away from them, Mr. Pluto or Mrs. Pluto or the Pluto. And then eventually it was given back. So talk about a roller coaster of a life.
Yeah.
You're a planet, then you're not a planet. Then you're a planet, then you're not a planet.
It's once again validated.
Yeah, it's way to go, Pluto, on your rededication. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. And the last one we found, Miss Mason actually found, because I'm a slacker, is the first automobile was sold. Okay? So before that, you were riding a horse and buggy.
Or a donkey.
Or
in a cart.
Some of your teachers we work with, they were around before the first automobile. And so they remember going to school, leaving their faculty meetings, getting on that donkey.
Hitching that horse up.
Fannin. All right. March. We're still in March. It feels like we've been doing this for a long time, but we are still, in fact, in March. And March is known for a couple important things. First off, it is Women's History Month.
Woohoo! all the women in the house.
Congratulations, Miss
Thank you.
Mason. And also, it is National Craft Month. So, some of you may feel a little bit crafty. You need to do your packet stuff first.
Yeah, true story.
But after that, maybe you can scrounge around and make craft. Maybe
like this
paint
little,
some rocks.
This little frog that our friend Miss Nona made. Mr. Hood really liked him.
That's not a real frog, so I'm not scared. If it was a real frog, I'd be out that window.
That is a true story. Again, let's just remind you that you can always go back and watch that Frogs and Salamanders video of Mr. Hood that's posted early on, because I promise you it is a gem.
Yeah.
And you have to watch the whole thing because it gets really good about halfway through.
I'm keeping my therapist in business because of that video.
That is a true story.
Yeah. All right, but so we picked some important women that throughout history. Some of the ones I picked was, or were, not was is singular, were is plural. That's your language arts thing for today. Mother Teresa. Woo-woo. I just recently watched the movie Harriet Tubman, and I learned lots of new and important information about the life of Harriet Tubman. Did some amazing things.
We just talked about that yesterday. That wasn't it?
On the video or together?
No, together. Not on the video. We didn't talk about it on the video.
With our mask on. Okay, Rosa Parks and Hatshepsut. Okay, she is the first female pharaoh, and if you're in my class, even if your classes got cut short because of this little break, we had still had time to talk about that. Okay, and you can put in the comments things you remember about Miss Hatshepsut.
Oh yeah, because I don't know who that is. I feel kind of ignorant. I'm not a huge
And you made fun of me for not knowing Harry Houdini.
Well,
Hatshepsut's kind of an important person myself. You know what I'm saying? First female pharaoh.
Okay, that's cool. I don't know about ancient.
But just like Houdini, Hatshepsut disappeared.
Really?
And we don't know what happened to her. There's lots of different theories out there. We don't know if she was killed or if she died, and there's lots of theories out there that the male.
Well, not cool, but not cool.
You have no heart. The male officials, government officials, wanted to get rid of her. Hatshepsut became in power because her husband. She was a senior wife to her husband. He had multiple wives, and they had a son. She had a stepson, which was also her nephew. Oh. And a little crazy, we won't get into all that. And he wasn't old enough to take over the reign. And so she was supposed to kind of keep that place until he got old enough. Well, then she didn't want to give it up. And so lots of her statues were destroyed. And so they think that they try to get rid of her history altogether. So,
okay.
Hatshepsut's way more important than Harry Houdini.
I'm interested now, so I'm going to have to do a little research of my own. That's
cool. Okay. I also picked a local person because, we want to support our local people. And I picked one of the most important women in my life is Lisa Brown. The Lisa Brown. The one and only. The one and only.
The best sub ever.
She's going to sub forever for me only. And Miss Mason sometimes.
No, thank you.
All the time. But we take care of Miss Brown, and we are so thankful for her, okay? And that she's still willing to do that.
Okay, so I chose 4 as well, and I was going to make a joke that like it was beside myself, but that's kind of egotistical. I know. I'm totally joking. But I am choosing, my local person is my mom, because she was the first female principal at the high school.
Go
she
Debbie!
Was not the last. The current principal at the high school, Miss Carver, is female, so I think that's totally awesome. So, yeah. I also chose Martha Lane Collins, which, Mr. Hood, do you know who that is? Do you remember?
She was a governor.
She was the
first female governor
of
Kentucky.
Yes.
And wasn't she a teacher too?
I don't know.
I think she was a teacher.
She might have been.
I think she was a former teacher.
She was the governor in the 80s, and she was the first female governor of Kentucky, and she has been the only female governor since. So, like 83 to 87, which was a pretty big deal. I was alive then. Were you alive then?
In 87?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
okay.
About 4 years old.
Okay, so you were alive in 83 too then.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I wasn't alive in 83.
When were you born?
84.
Oh, okay. He's just a young.
I'll put my social security number on here later, okay?
That's Okay, know what year you're born. Okay, and then I chose Marie Curie, who was the first, she was a female scientist, extremely, extremely talented. And she was the first female to win the Nobel Peace Prize in both chemistry and physics. And what's kind of crazy is the male counterparts in her field were kind of trying to take credit for her discoveries. And she discovered some material, or I'm not a scientist, like an element that's on the periodic table in different kinds of rocks, and was trying to separate it out, but it had radioactive material in it. And so, maybe it was radium. I don't remember. But she ended up dying because of the scientific work that she did. But she's pretty important. She's pretty cool. You can listen to or read the Who Was books series, and there's one about Marie Curie, and she is pretty awesome. Okay, and then finally, my favorite female author, because I'm a book nerd, who wrote Harry Potter, kiddos. Who wrote Harry Potter? Who wrote Harry Potter?
Luke Skywalker. Just kidding. But he's isn't he?
No.
In Luke Skywalker and Harry Potter.
No, Luke
Would it be
Skywalker is
so
Star
cool?
Wars.
Star Trek. Good. Okay.
No. J.K. Rowling, and here is what is so cool, and I tell my students this all the time. When she published Harry Potter, she wrote under the name J.K. Rowling, but her name is actually Joanne. Kathleen, I think, or Catherine. I think it's Kathleen. Yeah, I should know that. But
you don't know her name.
I know her first name.
Sounds like a real fan to me.
I am a fan. I'll challenge you in a Harry Potter trivia any day. But she published under J.K. because she thought it would be more likely that she would get her book published if the publishers didn't know she was a female. Which is crazy. Yeah. But now she's awesome. She's like the billionaire and a huge philanthropist and just plain awesome. She's a wonderful writer. Okay, anyway. So we're going to challenge you to look up famous females who've made a difference in the different fields that you're interested in. And put those in the comments, and we might learn about some additional females as well.
Absolutely, and we might give you a shout out.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to, and we also, we talked about how it's National Craft Month, and maybe you might see one of us do a craft on here sometime or give you some ideas about that. All right, so this is the last week for the packets that you all should be working on.
Yes.
Talked to a student today, and they're like, I'm on day 3. I'm like, we're on day 7. We gotta really working on that. So you should be getting some information, and we'll try to give you that information when we know that information about how and when those packets are going to be turned in.
We think it's going to be next Monday and or Tuesday, but we don't know the specific procedures of how old packets will be dropped off. And if you do not have access to the internet on a device that you're capable of doing homework on or work on, then you may have a packet available to you, but we're going to get that later.
We'll let you know when we know.
Yeah.
You'll know when we know, and then we'll all know.
And then hopefully, yes.
Okay. And so you will be getting, some of you will be getting packets if you, like Miss Mason said, if you don't have access to the internet or device or whatnot. Some of you have been getting emails from Google Classroom teachers. Don't panic about any of that. Your main focus should be on your packets right now.
For this week.
Now, if you feel froggy, you can go on and start working on some of that stuff if it's already made available to you. But don't stress out about that.
Yeah.
Okay?
Today, Miss Mayan and I participated with some of our students in a Zoom session. And not an automobile. It was an online virtual meeting place. And it was the first time that I'd ever done that. And it was pretty cool. And it made my mood just better. I've been in a little bit of a grouchy, cranky mood today.
Grumpy, Gus.
Just a little. That's a true story. But we had about 28 kids. Log on. And
just listening.
They're just staring at me. The frog will stare at us too. We had 28 kids who logged on, and we got to see them all. And I think that even though they probably did miss us, it was I think they enjoyed being able to see each other because you can see everybody on the screen at one time. and talk to each other a little bit. And it was a great platform for us to be able to answer some of their questions just like that, like in real time. As soon as they had a question, we could answer it. So we're going to do that again, and I'm going to teach Mr. Hood how to do it so he can do it with some of his classes.
Yeah.
And we'll set another date, but those links will be on Google Classroom, so those kiddos can log in, click on it, and it'll be right there. And I do know that some of the other grade levels are already doing that. So if you're not in 6th grade, you probably know more about it than we do.
True.
And that's okay. Give us some suggestions, because I need them every day of my life about all kinds of things.
All right, moving on. We didn't look up about shout outs, did we?
Yeah, we did.
Who are we shouting out
didn't.
to?
No, we didn't.
We dropped the ball.
David Merritt, he's been commenting.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
David
he
Merritt.
has. He said that, remember how yesterday we were talking about having live comments?
Mm-hmm.
And he said something about us being able to do a live stream, and that would people would be able to interact with us.
Like Facebook Live?
Yeah, but I guess we could do that.
Yeah.
We could do that. If you want us to go live one day, you let us know.
Yeah.
It could be very interesting.
I mean, we are live, but we
Yes.
can do it live.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But thank you, David, for giving us that information. I think David's much more tech savvy than I am, but I'm
No.
learning
Yes.
every day.
So today is day 2 of Spirit Days.
Whoop, whoop.
And we both have, I wear this every day. So
Yeah, that is a true story.
I am so super duper spirited. But today's Spirit Day and
But I feel
Wacky
like
Hair
it's
Day.
correct.
I don't have much hair left to do a whole lot of wackiness with.
I was going to wear my hair down, but I just forgot.
Yeah. So tomorrow, we don't know what tomorrow is.
Oh, hang on. I'll go find it. Here, ad lib for a minute.
We don't know what tomorrow is, and as Miss Mason
Oh, no.
roams.
I don't know where it is.
Oh, I'm just kidding. It's right here. Oh, I have it just right here. See? So tomorrow is Wednesday.
I was looking for that
Dress
sheet.
like your grandma or grandpa day,
Oh, okay.
or older people you love. Honor of generation most at risk. Okay? So, time to get your gray hair out.
Yeah,
Okay?
spray that hair. I have some gray spray. And I think that's all we have.
That's it. That's it. If you have any
Okay.
questions, please put them in the comments, and we will see you tomorrow.
All right. Bye, guys. Two
Peace
crazy
out.
teachers.
Signing off.